Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something a lot of us face but don't always talk about: the mid-career crossroads. You know, that moment where it feels like your professional life has just stopped.
Seriously, does this feel familiar? You've put in the time, you've got the skills, but it feels like you're just spinning your wheels. The motivation isn't what it used to be, and you're kind of wondering, what's next? Is there even a next? Well, if you're nodding your head right now, listen up. You are definitely not alone in this. So today, let's pull out the map and really chart this thing. We're going to look at the common roadblocks and figure out how to see the path forward again. Look, that feeling of being stuck, it's not just a vibe, it's real. It's caused by actual identifiable challenges. And the very first step to getting past them is to call them what they are. So we're going to break it all down into 4 big categories, starting from what's happening right inside your own workplace. All right, challenge number 1. We're calling these internal headwinds. Think of them as the currents inside your own company, the politics, the culture, the power dynamics that are blowing right against you and holding you back. And these headwinds can show up in a bunch of ways, right? Maybe a new boss comes in and completely changes the rules of the game, or you find yourself tangled up in office politics and, frankly, jealousy from people around you. You start noticing you're not getting picked for the cool projects anymore. Or maybe you just realize deep down you and the leadership team are just not on the same page. All of it leads to that one sinking feeling. Your career ladder is broken. Now, here is a really, really critical piece of this puzzle. Early in your career, you have mentors. These are great people who talk to you, give you advice, but when you hit mid-career, what you really need are advocates. These are the people who talk about you when you're not in the room. They spend their political capital to champion you. And when those advocates fade away, your visibility just vanishes. And of course, those internal headwinds don't just stay at work. They follow you home. Which brings us to our second challenge, the personal burdens. This is the heavy, emotional weight that all that professional stress piles onto your own shoulders. This quote absolutely nails it. Mid-career burnout is a special kind of tired. It's not just about being overworked. It's the soul-crushing exhaustion that comes from feeling like nothing you do is seen or valued. It's feeling invisible. And these burdens can start to feed on each other. You've got the chronic stress from being overloaded, which leads to that feeling of being undervalued. And after a while, that can snowball into some serious self-doubt, especially if you hit a setback. And for some, the ultimate blow is that out-of-the-blue layoff that just shatters your professional identity. Okay, but sometimes the problem isn't the company, and it isn't even you. Our third challenge is external storms. These are the huge, sweeping changes in your entire industry that can rock your world, usually without any warning at all. I bet this story sounds familiar. Some new technology comes along and shakes everything up. As a reaction, your company starts slashing budgets. Next thing you know, there's a big restructuring announcement. And suddenly your job, which felt totally safe, is either gone or completely different. And hey, this isn't always about some shiny new tech. It could be that your whole industry is just shrinking, or maybe a huge client leaves and takes all those key projects and all that funding your team depended on right out the door with them. These are massive shifts, totally out of your control, but they hit your career stability hard. So let's say you navigate all of that and you finally decide, you know what, I'm done. It's time to find something new. Well, that's when you might smash right into our fourth and final set of roadblocks: market barriers. These are the very real hurdles you face in the job market when you're trying to make a change. And these barriers can be brutal. You might face that unspoken or sometimes very spoken age bias from recruiters. Or you might realize that your skills are so specific to your old job that there isn't a huge demand for them elsewhere. Maybe you just don't have the right network to get your foot in the door. And then there's the big one, the real possibility that changing jobs means taking a major hit to your paycheck. So here's the bottom line. When you mash all 4 of these things together, the internal headwinds, the personal burdens, the external storms, and the market barriers, that's when you find yourself at the mid-career crossroads. It's not just one problem. It's the perfect storm of all of them. making you feel stuck, invisible, and maybe even a little obsolete.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. We've just laid out a whole lot of tough stuff. But the goal here is absolutely not to get stuck in the negative. In fact, it's the exact opposite, because this is the most powerful thing you can do. The moment you can put a name to these challenges, they stop being this big, scary, overwhelming cloud of dread. They become specific, concrete problems. And specific problems? Well, those are problems you can start to solve. This clarity, this is your power. It's the first step to grabbing the pen and drawing your own map forward.
So we've given you the guide. We've given you the language to understand what's really going on. You can see the roadblocks for what they are now. The only question left is the most important one. Where are you going to draw the very first line on your new map?